$2,000 win on a single spin. Just pure base game magic. Guys, Gates of Olympus is one seriously brutal slot, and I'm sure most of you already know that firsthand. But what if I told you that I managed to squeeze a massive $5,000 out of this greedy old man? An incredible 10 times my initial deposit by using a clear and tested strategy. Interested? Then pay close attention, because right now I'm going to show you exactly how to send Zeus straight into retirement, just without his pension. All that cash he shamelessly took from us before, we're going to take it right back. Now, who am I to talk with this much confidence? Well, just a seasoned gambler with 20 years under my belt, who was spinning Novomatic slots way back when cashing out your winnings was mostly just a fantasy. Trust me, slot mechanics haven't really changed much over the years. So even though Gates of Olympus is relatively new, deep down, it operates on the same basic principles as the classic games from the early 2000s. But what exactly is Gates of Olympus all about? It launched in 2021 and quickly exploded onto the gambling scene thanks to its insane volatility and huge multipliers, up to times 500. It made its way into the top 10 best slots worldwide in both 2022 and 2023, according to iGaming Business, and even snagged the prestigious Best High Volatility Slot Award at the EGR Awards, the Oscars of online gaming. That's exactly when I got seriously hooked on this machine. And sure, I had plenty of painful losses at first, but through trial, error, and sheer determination, I eventually crafted a reliable tactic that genuinely works and consistently makes me money. Of course, I can't promise you a 100% win rate. It's gambling after all, and we all know how casinos work. But if you follow my instructions carefully, you'll absolutely boost your chances of winning to about 60 to 70%. That's a solid fact. Now, as for the strategy itself, it's incredibly simple. First, we make 50 spins at a low bet. Then, we slightly raise the bet and do another 50 spins. After that, we bump up the stake again and buy a bonus round. Once that's done, we increase our bet one more time and run another 100 spins. Why exactly this method? Most pragmatic play slots generally have two distinct phases: the cold phase, when the slot is completely dead, and the hot phase, when it finally starts paying out real cash. This strategy is specifically designed to catch the slot exactly when it's ready to pay out, and by raising the bets gradually, the wins from the hot phase more than cover any earlier losses. As you can see, there's nothing complicated here. But before we dive fully into the strategy, we first need to figure out which phase the slot is in right now. Is it globally cold, or is it ready to pay out? How do you do that? Now, personally, I always start by making around 20 to 30 spins at the absolute minimum stake. In my case, that's $2. If during those spins I see at least a few scatters landing on the reels at once, or even just regular combinations consistently showing up, it means the slot is warmed up and ready to go. I'll be honest, right before filming this gameplay, the slot was completely ice cold a couple of times, and naturally, I didn't even bother playing then. But this time around, as you can clearly see, Gates of Olympus is definitely giving signs that it's warmed up and ready to play. So, without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so I'm kicking things off with a starting balance of $500, and my initial bet is set at just $2. Instead of rushing right into buying a bonus round like most players do, I start by running 50 auto spins just to see how the slot behaves. I often see comments like, auto spins never pay, or it's a total waste of time. Usually, I just ignore them because my experience says the exact opposite. But honestly, this time even I started having doubts. Those 50 spins practically went nowhere. My biggest win was a pathetic $4. Zeus was throwing lightning bolts all over the place, but none of them connected. It was a complete disaster, and clearly the slot was ice cold. But that's exactly what I was expecting. After all, I'm playing according to a clear strategy here, not just mindlessly smashing buttons. So, after these 50 completely dead spins, I increased my bet by 1.5 times up to $3 and ran another 50 auto spins. Now, I wasn't expecting a massive jackpot or anything crazy right away. I was just hoping for at least one bonus round to drop. Judging by the rhythm of the slot, I knew it had to happen soon. And guess what? I was dead right. Less than a minute later, boom, the first bonus round hits. Did I have super high hopes for it? Honestly, not really. But what happened next completely blew my mind. Zeus drops a massive times 50 multiplier right at the very start of the bonus round. Can you even believe that? Because I literally couldn't. Within the first second of the bonus, I was already $900 richer. That's absolutely insane. Now, sure, if I'd bought a pricier bonus round, say more than $300, I could have hit an even bigger jackpot. But even with my current stake, every small win turned instantly into something massive thanks to that multiplier. At this point, I was completely glued to my screen yelling at Zeus, "Come on, buddy, drop me another multiplier, just one more." Then another 80 bucks came. Then another 200, and finally another 80 bucks at the end. Only 4 hits, but those hits added up to a total jackpot of $1,346. Now that's some serious cash. And Zeus wasn't even done yet. Immediately afterward, another combo hit with the multiplier, bringing in another sweet $170, rounding my balance up to exactly $2,000. Honestly, at this point, it was already the perfect time to cash out, take the money, walk out of the casino, and enjoy a well-deserved break. But I'm here to make this video for you guys, so obviously, I'm going to keep going to show you exactly how this strategy continues. Now, after a huge win like that, I knew for a fact the slot would probably want to claw some of its money back. That's exactly why the next step in my strategy is buying a bonus round. Now, I'll be totally honest here, I didn't expect another huge payout from Zeus. He never dishes out 2 massive bonuses back to back. So I decided to play it smart and simply feed the slot a little bit. I bought a bonus round for $300 and waited patiently to see what Zeus had in store next. The first 5 spins, completely dead, not even a hint of something good. Then I got a few small hits, but with a ridiculous multiplier of just ×4. Honestly, it was pretty weak. I only managed to get about $100 back from that bonus round, but that's exactly what I expected. Now it was time to up the stakes. I cranked my bet to $5 per spin and activated auto spins with an increased chance of hitting the bonus round. I'm not going to bore you by describing every spin. Let's cut straight to the juicy part. Check this out. After just a couple of minutes of spinning, the slot delivered a genuinely impressive combo. Zeus strikes hard with a multiplier and boo, $221 on a single regular spin. Now that's how you play slots. Honestly, if Sweet Bonanza dropped multipliers on regular spins like Olympus does, the game would be 10 times more thrilling. And by the way, I've already made a detailed review of Sweet Bonanza on my channel. Be sure to check that out. Anyway, after that awesome hit, the spins started cooling off again, signaling that it was time to raise the stakes once more. All right, new bet level and another round of 50 auto spins. You're not going to believe this, but the same incredible thing happened again. Look closely here. What seemed like just another ordinary spin suddenly turned into absolute magic. I hit purple gems, rings, hourglasses, green, blue, and yellow, all in one glorious spin. And Zeus wasn't done. He tossed in another multiplier, turning a solid hit into something truly epic, instantly adding $264 to my balance. This is it. The slot officially heated up and is ready to pay out big. It's bonus buying time again, folks. I kept the same bet and immediately went for a $600 bonus round. Remember, I started this session with just $500, and now I'm casually buying a bonus that costs more than my entire original bankroll. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, on the first spin of this bonus round, a modest ×2 multiplier drops. Not bad for a start. Next spin, another hit. Now we're up to a ×4 multiplier. And finally, we hit something serious. Golden cups combined with another multiplier. Suddenly, a third of my bonus round is already paid off. The old man Zeus is finally loosening his grip. Come on, Zeus, time to blow up my bankroll. And man, did he deliver. Almost every single spin added multipliers, quickly pushing the total multiplier beyond 20 times. Another Golden Cups combo hit, bringing in $190. I'm already in profit territory, but still, I knew something even bigger was coming. With just 5 spins left, suddenly, and boom, there it is. A full screen of green crystals, with Golden Cups topping it off. And the total win for that single spin, $36, multiplied by a huge 23 times, giving me over $800 instantly. Now, was I surprised? Honestly, not too much. At this point, I've seen big hits on this slot more than once, but I'm not gonna lie. Back when I was just figuring out this strategy, hits like these used to make me jump out of my seat. And just to put the cherry on top, the last few spins of the bonus dropped another $200. An absolutely perfect way to wrap up this round, and just further proof that my strategy is rock solid, provided that the slot is warmed up beforehand, exactly like I mentioned at the start of this video. Now, once again, I'm convinced that following a precise, step-by-step strategy is the key to success here. There's a reason why I've spent so much time refining it. But let me remind you, This strategy specifically works on Gates of Olympus. At best, you can try applying it to similar pragmatic play slots, but don't even think about using this on slots like Son of Egypt. That's just pure nonsense. Trust me, you'll lose your shirt doing that. Well, if the bonus round is paying out more than the bet, it obviously makes sense to buy another one, right? That's exactly what I thought in that moment. And guess what? Another bonus at $6 per spin paid me another $900. Perfect. If it keeps paying, I keep buying. That was my thinking after another profitable bonus round. But honestly, this time I was a bit skeptical. I mean, bonus rounds can't all be profitable, right? That's just not realistic. The result? A small loss this time, but still within expectations. My balance dropped back to $2,700, but hey, at least the bonus gave me something back. And now that the bonus buying streak was clearly over, it was time to spin normally again. This time, I raised my bet again, now to $9 per spin, and set another 50 auto spins rolling. Slowly but steadily, my balance started to slide downward. When my balance hit about $2,500, the slot finally started showing signs of life. I got a couple of minor hits, but nothing substantial enough to stop the overall decline. At this point, I seriously considered ending the session right there, cashing out a clean $2,000 in profit and calling it a day. After all, burning money just for the sake of content wasn't really my plan. But then, right when I was about to pull the plug, boom, my strategy kicked in again, reminding me exactly why I was sitting here in the first place. First, a 5 times multiplier drops. And then Zeus follows up immediately with another lightning bolt, an incredible 25 times multiplier. The result? An unbelievable $2,000 win on a single spin without even triggering a bonus round. Just pure base game magic. Absolutely stunning. At this point, I genuinely started sweating. This is exactly what I was talking about. Gates of Olympus can be incredibly brutal, but if you play it smart, it definitely rewards you. Without my strategy, I would have called it quits much earlier and completely missed one of the best wins I've ever had on this slot. The result? My balance just jumped up to a cool $4,500. A bit of time passed. I cooled down, and now I faced a real decision. Should I cash out right now or keep pushing further using the same strategy? But you know what? Of course I decided to keep going. I was just too curious to see how far I could push this slot. And I'm willing to bet you're just as curious, aren't you? So, really, cashing out right now wasn't even an option. So I went ahead and bought another bonus round at the same bet. $900. Risky? Absolutely. But my recent big win gave me the confidence to go for it. And things started pretty decent. A nice 5 times multiplier hit on the very first spin, but after that, complete silence. Spin after spin after spin. Nothing connected. Finally, near the end, I got a somewhat decent combination, which gave me $333 back, but it wasn't even half of what I paid for the bonus. Another combination followed shortly, adding another $300 to my balance. And in total, I almost broke even, ending up with just about a $100 loss. I figured that's not too critical, so I decided to buy another bonus at the same price. This next one would definitively determine whether I continued or wrapped up this gaming session. In those first spins, awful, completely dead. And at this point, I already thought, well, that's it, game over for you today. But suddenly, are you seeing this? A full line of crowns. That's the top symbol, hits the screen with a multiplier. I was literally praying out loud, begging Zeus to drop another lightning bolt, but he stood there like a statue. Still, even without another multiplier, that single spin alone brought in a whopping $600. Immediately after, another $240 landed, and then another spin brought in an extra $351. At this point, I was practically yelling at the screen, Olympus, can you give me even more? And guess what? On the very last spin, Zeus dropped a 20 times multiplier. But why so late, damn it? Had it appeared earlier, I easily would have walked away with $10,000 in winnings. But hey, after all that excitement, my balance finally hit $5,000, a clean 10 times return on my original deposit. That's an absolute victory. Yes, my strategy really works. It significantly increases your odds of winning, and this gameplay session clearly demonstrates its effectiveness. But again, I must emphasize, this isn't a magic pill. There's always a chance of losing, even with the best strategy in the world. Keep that in mind, please. And right now, this would honestly be the perfect moment to cash out and call it a day. But, of course, I'm going all in again. You know the saying, go big or go home. As long as Zeus keeps paying, I'm not stopping. So I increased my bet to $10 per spin, activated the enhanced bonus feature, and launched 100 auto spins. But honestly, I already knew deep down that Gates of Olympus tends to play pretty badly at stakes of $10 and higher. The odds of losing at this point were way higher than winning, and that's a proven fact. But I just had to test it out. I mean, curiosity got the better of me, damn it. And as I expected, my balance slowly started to dwindle down. Well, no surprise there really. Sure, there were a few decent moments. I caught a nice combination with golden cups and a 14 times multiplier, landing $285. My balance even briefly climbed back above the $5,000 mark, but soon after, it started steadily dropping again. And towards the end, I hit another $160 win, but unfortunately, that was the last decent moment. It became crystal clear that Olympus had completely cooled off. At that point, I faced a logical question. Should I just buy one last expensive bonus round? Could this finally be my chance to land something massive, like those wins you see from top streamers? With that idea in mind, I went all in and bought the most expensive bonus round for the session for a full $1,000. My worst fears quickly came true. Actually, scratch that. It wasn't just bad. It felt like a slap in the face for my greediness. The bonus paid out a pathetic $180 from my $1,000 stake. I mean, what the hell was that? There was absolutely no way I could let this stand. Blinded by frustration and the overwhelming urge to recover my losses, I immediately bought another $1,000 bonus. And guess what happened? Yet another complete disaster. At that moment, I was ready to smash my phone against the wall. That's how angry I was. But after calming down a bit, I took a step back to rationally assess what had just happened. I started this video with just $500, and right now I'm sitting with $3,000 in my balance, leaving me with a clean profit of $2,500. That's still a genuinely great result. My original goal was clear: to test and prove this strategy for you. And despite the ups and downs, I'm walking away with a strong profit and valuable lessons learned. Greed was punished, the lesson was clear, and I'm happy to cash out here. All right, let's sum it all up. This clear and reliable strategy on Gates of Olympus delivered me a solid 10 times return on my original deposit. Here's exactly what I did. First, always test to see if the slot is ready to pay. Do 20 to 30 spins on the minimum bet. If you hit some combinations or land at least 2 scatters regularly, the slot's warmed up and you're good to go with the following steps. Next, run 50 auto spins at a low stake. I use $2. If nothing lands, increase the bet by 1.5 times and run another 50 auto spins. After this, raise your bet slightly again and purchase your first bonus round. If the bonus is profitable, buy another one. But if it goes negative, increase the bet once more and run 100 regular or auto spins. The logic here is simple. When bonuses pay out, keep buying them until you hit your first loss. After a loss, switch back to spins with a slightly higher bet. The critical part of this strategy is knowing when to stop, usually after 2 negative bonuses in a row, or if you start losing consistently in regular spins. This strategy consistently gives me about a 60 to 70% success rate. But remember, it's not a magical guarantee. So if Gates of Olympus gives you a solid payout, cash out immediately and enjoy it. Because let me tell you from experience, greedy gamblers always end up regretting it. If you enjoyed this strategy, go ahead and try it, but please keep a clear head. And if you're hungry for even more tested strategies for other slots, check out our website using the link below this video, or just search it up online. Our site is packed with top-notch strategies crafted by professional gamblers, plus tons of unique and valuable information designed to help you play smarter, feel more confident, and walk away more profitable. Finally, don't forget to smash the like button and watch my next video right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy it too.